Welcome to Strong Personalities. This is your host, Yanni Bear, and today I am here with Elly Smith, and she is talking to me at 9:30 in the morning in Australia because she lives in the future. Elly, how are you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm really excited to talk to you. I want to know first, what's it like living in the future? Because you're 14 hours ahead, right?
Yeah, 14 hours ahead. Um, yeah.
You're like, I wasn't ready. Um, have you traveled to the US before?
Never. So
Never. So
never been to the
OSG,
US.
so OSG is going to be your first time in the US. No pressure. No
No
pressure.
pressure.
Is everything ready to go? Are you feeling good about it? How's your training going?
Yeah, feeling good. So 2 weeks of training left to go. I kind of wish I had more time to train and prep, but we're all in the same boat, so it's okay. But yeah, training's been going good. Um, it's hard, but yeah, it's good.
Um,
It's good to have a goal to work towards. So,
Absolutely. So for you, how did you qualify for OSG?
okay, so it was a very last minute decision. Um, so I did the online qualifiers.
Okay.
I had one of the other um, females who's actually going over to OSG in the 64 division, who lives here with me in New South Wales, in Australia. She kind of reached out to me and said, "Oh, you're going to try and qualify." And I sort of brushed it aside and said, "No, like I'm not ready for that level yet." And she said, like, have a go, see how you go. So I had to try and convince my coach to let me qualify because I was already prepping for another pretty big qualifying comp to qualify for nationals again here. But he said, that's fine, we'll have a go, give it a week. So it was literally a week before the online qualifier closed. So yeah, I did like a pretty quick carb up with my nutrition coach and yeah, hit they were all the max numbers. So it was I think that was like the hardest week I've ever had, like in the gym, trying to hit, the qualifying numbers, and then submitted those and had to wait about a week. And then, yeah, I was sitting in eighth position. So yeah, got my ticket through the online qualifier.
Now, okay, you mentioned nutrition coach. I think out of all the athletes that I follow that are going to OSG, you're the one who actually shares the most about their nutrition. Um,
Um,
how long have you had a nutrition coach?
Not that long. So I started with Max in April this year. So that was after I'd competed at nationals, and I had met him there. And yeah, so I started with him in April, and I've been working with him since. So dropped like 13 kilos in body weight since I started with him. And then since like mid August, I've kind of maintained body weight since then. So
13
yeah,
kilos, that's what, 26, 30 pounds? Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, I actually got stronger while dropping body weight. So I basically added like 10 kilos to my overhead press at a lighter body weight, which is wild. Like, yeah.
I bet you like since you were actually being properly fed,
Yeah.
like your body was just moving quicker and then you were more explosive because you were a little bit lighter. And I'm guessing you gained muscle. Did you do a body composition test before you started with the nutritionist, or is it just strictly by weight?
No, strictly by weight. I kind of wish I did a body scan. I used to do heaps of them years ago. Before I competed in Strongman, I actually used to train like F45. I don't know if you have that in the US. It's
45.
like high intensity interval training sort of thing.
Is it called F45?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah. We have that. Yeah. I thought you meant
yeah.
the number. I
So
was like, yeah, we have numbers here too. Yeah.
yeah. So I used to do that for like 3.5 years before I started with Strongman. But I did like body scans there all the time. So I kind of wish I had done one before I started working with Max. But yeah, I've just like purely based like off numbers on the scales, but also like I think I dropped like 17 centimeters from my waist. Like it just like all went from my waist. Like I dropped, like my jeans didn't fit anymore. So yeah.
Oh darn. More so when it came to the working with the nutritionist, what was the initial goal? Was it to drop weight? Was it to feel better during training? What was the initial goal?
Yeah, so I guess the initial goal was to drop down to 100 kilos body weight. But yeah, so I hit that in about, I think, 4 months. As soon as I started like working with Max, like he actually increased my calories. So before I was working with him, I was eating about 1,500 calories a day. Like I had no idea. Yeah. I had no idea how much I was under eating.
How tall are you?
6 foot.
Oh my God, yeah, you were totally under eating. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness,
Yeah.
1,500 calories?
Yeah. I kind of had like no idea. And so yeah, he basically, I think when I started off, we were already eating like in a surplus of what that was. I think maybe like 2,200 or 2,400. But yeah, like eating more calories, I was literally dropping weight so fast. And yeah, so now I'm like carb cycling a few days a week, but yeah, basically eating double what I was eating originally at a lighter body weight. So yeah, I've learned a lot.
Yeah, no, that's so good. I bet you're excited about like your results with actually being able to eat properly. And then carrying that over with all your traveling and everything. So I see here that you are a two-time Australian farmers record holder at 115 kilos in each hand.
Yeah.
How long did you hold that for? Or was it like carrying for distance?
So well, I originally set it at 110. That was at nationals in March. So that was 15 meters. And then I got back from nationals, and I think it was like a week later. I wanted to break my own record again, and did that on my birthday.
Oh,
So
nice birthday gift. Yeah.
yeah, I just did that at like a local comp, and yeah, had to go at 115. So that was for 15 meters as well.
So the farmers carry at OSG isn't something you're really worried about, are you?
No, so I hit comp weight maybe 2 weeks ago in training, which is 122.5. That's on the final farmers implement. So yeah, I think it's the first set is 110, so that shouldn't be an issue.
Yep.
Just hoping that by the time I get to that second set, like my hands are going to still cooperate.
You get the little T-Rex hands when you've been gripping so hard.
Yeah, yeah.
So which event are you most excited about? Which event are you most worried about?
Oh, okay. Which event I'm most worried about? Viking press for sure.
Okay.
Overhead pressing has never been my favorite. It's getting there slowly, but yeah, definitely the Viking press, which is what I'm putting the most attention towards in my training. I also am a split jerker, so push pressing is like after split jerking for like 2 years now, like to only have to do push press for the Viking press is not my favorite, but that's okay. And what I'm most excited for, probably deadlifts. I love a deadlift. But yeah, excited for farmers as well.
I'm still here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can just see a cat.
Something real quick. There we go.
Yeah.
Okay, that was weird. Sorry. Anyways, back to this. So at least the good thing about the Viking press is that it's the first event and you get to knock it out of the way. So that's good.
Yeah.
And then you said that the deadlift is something that you're excited for. I laughed that you're always barefoot on your social media when you're deadlifting.
Do people not do that in the US?
I mean, not in competition. Like like the owner of the gym that I work out at, Derek Owens at Battle Axe Barbell, he hates when people try to deadlift without shoes. Like he will not let any competitor compete if they
Really?
don't have shoes on. Yeah. So that's why
Oh,
that's
wow.
why I laugh when I see your videos.
Oh, I'm like always barefoot in the gym. Like I only wear shoes if I have to.
And then I'm looking at the rules, and it just says no deadlift suits, hooks, tacky, or tacky towels allowed. So looks like you're good there. Um, I
Maybe socks. I might have to wear socks, maybe. I don't know.
maybe, yeah, maybe. I usually deadlift in socks. I don't like deadlifting in shoes. Um,
Yeah.
so I think one of our first conversations had to do after you saw the interview with Lynn. We were talking about how you had accidentally ordered a deadlift suit because you saw
Yeah.
online qualifier. Did you finally get that deadlift suit?
Yeah. So it's still sitting in the box in my cupboard downstairs. So um, I did actually, when it finally arrived, because it took like 6 or 7 weeks, I did like try on, like just like to make sure it fit, which it did, but I haven't actually worn it yet. Yeah, so that was like $700 that I didn't need to spend, but anyway,
Was it
yeah.
seven? Wait, was it 700 total with shipping, or was it 700 just for the deadlift suit?
No, with shipping, but the shipping was like $200 from Texas. I'm like, what? Like, how? How?
Wow.
Yeah, and it wasn't even like it said it was being shipped expedited, which I'm like, does that mean it's express post? That's what we call express post here, which means like quick. But I don't know. It still took like 6 weeks to get here. So
Um. Okay. How did you get into strongman?
so through F45, which I used to do, one of the trainers there at my gym trained a strength and conditioning gym, like a powerlifting gym. And yeah, he just said, like, come along for a session and see how you like it. And then one of the coaches there, he was like, oh, you'd be really good at strongman. I'm like, what is that? Like, I don't even know what strongman is. Yeah, and that was like 3 years ago. So
What is your strongman event nemesis? Not it like not just to OSG, just in general. Well, like what strongman event is your nemesis? Like you just hate doing it.
um monster dumbbell or circus dumbbell. Um
Again, the overhead movement. Why
like
why
yeah.
why the circus?
Well, like 2 years ago, I was training with it for a comp and injured my shoulder with it. So it's just like a mental barrier for me. My shoulders, yeah, my shoulder's never been the same since. So like I've rehabbed it, I've had x-rays, ultrasounds done on it. I've actually got dysplasia of my right shoulder. Like my socket on my right side is actually shallower. So I think it was already like a pre-existing thing that I had there, which I've just aggravated. So yeah, I literally haven't touched a monster dumbbell since. So yeah, it's just a mental thing for me.
Okay. What other sports have you done?
Not many. Like, I mean, when I was a child, like, I don't know, like I did soccer for a bit, AFL for a bit,
AFL?
swimming, like football, but different.
Like was it rugby? No.
um, no, not rugby. Basically you can it's similar to rugby, but like slightly different.
Okay, I might
Yeah.
put that one up later.
It's an Australian thing.
Gotcha. Did you get to hit people?
No, which is probably why I didn't enjoy it.
um, so we talked a little bit yesterday. You work as a teacher,
Yeah.
and for what grades?
So this year I teach year 5, so they're 11-year-olds.
Has your strength training helped you dealing with kids?
My strength training is definitely my like outlet for work. Yeah, so more not so much dealing with children, but more so dealing with like adults.
Um, do the kids know that you compete in strongman?
I believe some of them do because, yeah, my friends at school, my colleagues kind of share what I do. So, yeah, I think some of them do, and they think it's like really awesome.
Like one of the kids started looking at you differently. They're like, "Yeah, I'm not going to be a smartass on in her class anymore. She could
Yeah.
literally throw me across the room." Um, let's go back to the food because I noticed that you eat some foods that I'm not used to seeing.
Yeah.
Um, there was I think you were cooking a heart.
Yeah. So I've got to meal prep that again today. My iron is just like stupidly low, despite the fact that I eat red meat every day. So Max was like, "Yep, we're gonna start eating beef heart 4 times a week."
That feels
I'm
so
like, "Look, I haven't like you can't knock it till you've tried it." So I cooked it up. It literally just tastes like steak. It's just a bit more chewy, but yeah, it tastes fine.
um so you call it minced beef, right?
Yeah, like beef mince.
Okay. And why do you
Yeah,
call it minced beef?
because it goes through a mincer. Like you
So,
have the
uh-huh.
beef, the cow, and it goes through the mincer. So
Yeah.
it's called mince.
No, it makes perfect sense. I just like hearing like what people call the same thing in different countries. Because like when you
Yeah.
told me that, I was just like, I'm wondering if we call ours ground beef because it walks on the ground. But I was like, no, I'm pretty sure there's more logic to that. What's have you what do you miss about your old diet? Like what have you cut out?
Um,
Or have you
oh,
changed the quantities? Because for you, it sounds like
yeah.
you were eating pretty good, but you just needed to go up on how much you were eating.
Yeah. So when I first started with Max, like he really was like, you're eating all the right things, but just not enough of it. So I was already eating, yeah, protein. Probably maybe my fats were slightly too high, but yeah, not enough protein. And probably not enough carbs. So really just, yeah, switching those up. But yeah, I can't really, yeah, I can't think of anything that I used to eat that I don't not eat now. Yeah, maybe
Um,
just less chocolate. That's all.
the chocolate,
Less chocolate. Yeah.
less chocolate. Oh no, chocolate's good for your heart or something, right?
Something like that.
That's what I'm gonna keep telling myself. Um, so have you always lived in Australia? And what part of Australia did you say you lived in?
So I'm in Sydney, which is in, yeah, New South Wales on the east side. So I grew up in Sydney and then I lived just below the Queensland border with my family for about 10 years. And then I moved back to Sydney. So yeah, I've always lived in the same places. Yeah.
Um, what's the highest number of athletes you've personally seen at a competition that you've competed in?
So our state level in New South Wales is pretty massive. This year we had, I think, about 60 competitors all up. Whereas I know other states in Australia, like they might have a dozen or maybe 20 or something like that. So our state level comps are quite big. But I guess in my division, I think the most I've ever competed against would be like 6 or 8 other ladies. So to go to OSG, I think there's like 30 or 32 in my division, which is massive. Yeah, so should be good.
I was counting them real quick. Yeah, 31. Your
31.
your division is 31. Oh well,
Yeah.
you it's 32. Because this competition, just the athletes alone, is going to be 400 athletes.
That's
Are you ready?
crazy.
Are you ready for that?
Yeah, I'm like, how are we going to warm up? Like, is there going to be enough equipment for everyone to warm up with?
Actually, I forgot to ask Lynn about that, but I'm pretty sure he's planned for that. And yeah, and I think he talked about how like there's going to be a specific schedule that they follow, so like that way, like the super heavyweights aren't lifting before the lightweights or anybody in the women's division. But I'm pretty sure they'll have a schedule for you to be able to warm up properly or to the best you can, at a strongman competitions. Because you've been at strongman competitions. Sometimes it's like you get like 2-3 warm up sets and let's go.
Literally. That at our last one, at nationals in March, we had a squat for reps, and we had like one bar between all of us to warm up on, and all the guys were trying to warm up, females were trying to warm up. It was just chaos. I think I had like 2 warm up squats before I went out. Like, it was very difficult.
Even your dog sounds upset about the of sets there. I love using bands as much as I possibly can, just because you can kind of put them over your shoulder and just start squatting, getting some blood. I mean, obviously it's not the barbell, but at least you start pumping some blood, because that is one of the difficult things at strongman competitions. It's not like CrossFit, as big as it's gone. You usually have like a lot better areas to warm up, but have you looked at the people you're going against?
Yeah, so there's some big names on that list. Yeah, I have. And everyone's super friendly.
Yes.
We've got like an open women chat on Instagram. So we've actually been, like chatting back and forth, and everyone's super lovely, which is great. Like, it's the same here in Australia. The community is so supportive. Everyone advocates for each other. So it's exciting to see that it's the same internationally. I'm just excited to meet people and just enjoy the experience. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah. One of the people that you're going against is Stephanie Herod. Sorry if I messed up your last name there. But I run into her in a lot of competitions here in Texas. My favorite thing is she had somebody kept calling her like Lindsay or something the entire day, and I was like, why does she keep calling you Lindsay? And she goes, I just don't have the heart in me to tell her that she's been calling me the wrong thing. But
oh no,
I know I saw her at compete at the Southwest regionals here, and she got first place. Like, she eked out the win with like the last sandbag. It was one of the best moments. What's your favorite moment in your strongman career so far?
oh my goodness. It'd have to be qualifying for Worlds. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think anything can beat that. Like, it's huge. It's something that I never thought I'd ever achieve. Like, I never put myself down to being able to compete at world level. So it has to be that for sure.
And you thought you weren't ready. What's been the worst moment in your strongman career?
I mean, so last year I won our state title. So that was super exciting. So this year I guess I had the expectations and the weight on my shoulders to go back and win it again. And I came second. So that was really hard. So I don't know, if I had to think of something, it would probably be that, like losing my title that I won last year. But you move past that, and like, as bitter as that was when it happened, like, I look now and I think, well, in the scheme of things, like, I'm going to compete at Worlds. Like, it doesn't matter, because there's always other opportunities out there. So yeah,
It's just an opportunity to come back stronger.
yeah,
what do you do for your mental health during this like heavy training leading up to finals, being a teacher? What do you do to like just keep your sanity?
Um, I don't like going to the gym is my sanity. Like
Okay.
it's as hard as it is, as heavy as the sessions are, like for me, it's the social aspect of it, I guess, working with kids all day. Um, is like going to the gym, being able to like be around adults and see my friends, like yeah, as much as the training is intense, like just going to the gym, that's my outlet to see people. I spend like 3 hours there, like I do a lot of talking, so
Guilty. I'm also guilty of that. I work from home, so I think my dogs get tired of seeing me talk to a screen, and then they're like,
yeah.
"Get out and go talk to some humans." Um, but yeah, I'm definitely guilty of that. But that's good that the what non lifting activity do you like to do for fun?
um oh, I don't know,
Oh,
eat
come
food,
on.
go out, I don't know, like go out with my friends and yeah.
You're like, I've been so focused on
Yeah,
training.
like I don't like when I'm not at the gym, I'm at work. Um, yeah, just yeah, spend time with my friends, walk my dogs. I don't know. I'm not super interesting.
Yes, you are. You're just focused right now in training mode. Oh, don't ever say you're not interesting. You're definitely interesting, but you're just used to your schedule that you find it boring. Um, let's see. What's something that you see strongman in America do that you wish Australia would do as well, or needs to catch up on?
Hmm. Um, oh, that's a good question.
Thank you.
Um, I don't know. Like I've seen like that comp that you were emceeing a few weeks ago. Was it the circus one?
Yes.
Yeah. So like I saw that and I thought that's what we need, like just a variation in events. Like there's been so many comps lately where it's just been so generic and it's like a yoke, farmers, overhead medley, deadlift, stones. Like it's just the run of the mill. And it's, like this is strongman, not powerlifting. Like let's keep things interesting, have some variety. So I'd love to see some comps like that where it's different. You can't necessarily train so specific to something, and you kind of just show up and like you just have to be strong. You can't, yeah, train something as specific as, yeah, powerlifting, but it seems that some comps seem to be running like that. So, yeah.
Yeah. The competitions that have like a theme like that, like the I think the Circus of Strength one was like the one that's the theme wise has set itself apart from all the other competitions. It was so much fun too. So it was in Oklahoma, which is like a 2 hour drive from here, and there was prairie dogs. Have you ever seen a prairie dog?
Are they like meerkats?
They're like fat meerkats
Okay, yeah.
without the stripes, which I think is pretty funny when like most people think of America being fat. I was like, even our meerkats are fat down here. But anyway, so yeah, there was like just like hundreds of meerkats outside of the circus, and it was crazy seeing that. And then obviously, I got to interact with a clown. He was pretty cool. He drove around in a little car. So yeah, it's definitely so much more fun, especially for the audience. Because like the audience there to support like one or two specific athletes, but then it also does kind of get repetitive when they see this like different athlete doing the same thing again and again. So having a theme like that also helps with bringing
Yeah.
audience, which then brings in more vendors, which then brings in more money into the sport, and then it helps it grow. So 100% creativity is important from promoters. Um, let's see. Do you have anything on your bucket list that you want to knock out while you're here?
I wish I took more leave while I'm away. So I took 2 weeks long service leave to come over, but haven't actually planned anything yet. I'm just going to kind of like see how I feel, kind of take it as it comes. But I'm literally staying in Daytona the whole time. So like I'm keen for any recommendations. I know that is it Disney World or Disneyland? I'm not sure which one it is. There's one of those. But
Actually,
yeah, I probably need to do some research
yes, you do.
and write a list or something. Um, that's probably something that I could do when I'm not at work or the gym is actually plan something. Um, yeah.
Let's see. Daytona Beach is 1 hour away from the Walt Disney World Resort.
Okay.
So it's close enough.
Yeah.
You have nice beaches to go to, but I think you're pretty used to beaches. Y'all have great whites though, no?
Like sharks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, why does everything on Australia want to kill you?
Yeah, like snakes, spiders, jellyfish. I
Even
don't
though
know.
that is like Australia is so cool, but scary at the same time. Like, it's on my bucket list. Um, so what would you tell somebody who is going to Australia? Like where, like if you're like, hey, this is where you need to go. If you're only going to come here once, what would be the top 3 things you would want them to do?
Oh, see, I feel like obviously I've lived in Australia my whole life, but I've never been out of, I've been to only 3 states in Australia. So I've never really left like the east coast of Australia. Um, so yeah. There's heaps to do in Sydney and Melbourne as well. Um, but yeah, if I was to recommend anything to anyone, which I haven't done, but go to like the outback, like Northern Territory, the national parks there, crocodiles, you can add that to the list as well. They're also trying to kill you. No,
Oh,
that's a
nah,
flat.
that's a no. Anything that wants to eat me, I'm good. I respectfully will like protect you from a distance, preservation. But the second you get close to me and start eyeing me like I'm a dinner plate, nope, that's a no. So I didn't know there were states in Australia. So there's 6 states and then 2 territories.
Yeah.
Um, what about food wise? I love food. I plan my trips around food.
Yeah. Food wise. Well, I think Melbourne is probably the best for food, which is in like Victoria. Um, yeah, Melbourne for
Right?
food for sure.
I've seen a lot of like documentaries like on different like chefs, and I feel like that's an area that a lot of them seem to go to when they are in Australia. Um, so what is Australia's greatest export, and why is it Hugh Jackman?
Oh, God. I'm actually not a fan of Hugh Jackman.
We're done. All right, guys, this was a great conversation. This is Elly Smith. I hope he doesn't do well now at the competition. I'm just kidding. Why don't you like him?
He's the one that threw the phone at that lady at the hotel, right?
That's Russell Crowe.
Oh, right. Really?
Yeah, that guy's got
Okay.
anger management issues.
Okay. All right. Well,
Woo!
okay.
Hugh Jackman
Um,
was Wolverine.
I've never seen that.
Once again, we're done with this interview. Okay. Well, anyways, I'm a big fan of his. I like all his movies, most of his. And my girlfriend says that she would leave me for Hugh Jackman, and I was just like, I couldn't even blame you. So there you go. Um, um, for Strongman, where what would be next? Like, how do you feel like you're going to do? Top 33%, bottom 33%? Do you feel like you're going to be in the middle? What are your expectations?
I think it's going to all come down to the Viking press, because that's the one that I'm not as confident with. So if I can get a rep on the Viking press, I'd be absolutely stoked, because I know that if I zero that event, like points wise, that's going to cost me a lot. So yeah, I've set some goals, and I've written some like positive affirmations that I read to myself every day, and I've got them set like as my wallpaper on my phone. I would really like to make day 3. That is my goal. But I'm also trying to be realistic as well. So yeah, I've got my goals. I'm going to keep working towards them. But yeah, if I can make day 3, I will be very happy.
All right. So Elly was just telling me that she is guaranteeing a top 3 finish. Very excited for you. Just totally kidding. Just totally kidding. Your goal is day 3. And you know that it's going to be dependent on the Viking press. You're hoping to not zero it.
Yeah.
So for you, what's next after finals? Are you going to take a break from training, or what's next for you?
So my next comp will be towards the end of January. That is the Australia's Strongest International. So that's the one that they're collaborating with Clash.
That's right.
Yeah, so got that. So that's yeah.
Be prepared for an extremely fast competition.
Yeah.
Like, is it just one division?
No, so there's actually 3. So they've got like a pro men and pro women show. So like invite only. And then they have 2 other divisions. So like an advanced division, which I'm competing in. And then they have an intermediate division. So there's actually 3 different levels competing across 2 days, I think. So there's that in January. So basically, once I finish this comp, it'll be like straight on to the next prep, which I've done all year. It's crazy.
Yeah, so I emceed the Clash under 64 kilo class, and yeah, they knocked out that competition under 2 hours and a half. Like,
wow.
they were, as they were finishing up the last event, the people that went first in that event were already warming up for the next event. So that's why I was thinking to myself, like, they like to push the pace, which I agree. Sometimes we spend a little too much time just relaxing during a competition. So yeah, definitely be prepared for that push. What was the last thing you read?
Oh, probably an information report that a child at school wrote about Sweden or something.
What about what was the last thing you read for like your own pleasure?
Probably an article on Viking Press, like honestly, on how like the leverages work. Like honestly, I have no time to read like novels or anything like that. Like unless it's like for school, like related to school, like yeah, because I literally leave home at like 7 a.m. and get home at 8:30. And then as soon as I get home, it's like eat dinner, have a shower, go to bed. Same thing. Like, yeah.
Yeah. That's a tight schedule. So okay. What if you could have just like one meal for the rest of your life? What would it be?
Oh, one meal for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
I love pasta. Pasta's so good.
What kind
That's
of
actually, yeah. Oh, like anything, any pasta. Yeah.
All right, so a pasta dish. All right.
Yeah.
What do you wish you could do better? That is not the Viking press
I was about to say overhead press. Um,
or anything over anything non-gym related. What do you wish you
okay.
could do better?
Um, oh wow.
You're like
Okay.
nothing. I'm amazing.
No, 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 no. I'm just trying to think what I would do if I had more time.
Yeah.
Um, probably find a hobby that's not strongman. I don't know. In what time? I don't know.
Okay. All right. So if you did have like, okay, so I guess that'd be the question. If you had an extra 2 hours in your day,
Yeah.
what would you do with it? That was not strongman related.
Um, like learn a new skill, teach myself something new.
Okay.
Or like study, like restudy. If that was an option, I'd do that as well.
Hey, it's
Um,
your choice on what to do with those 2 hours. Okay. So learn a new
yeah.
skill. All right. Um,
Yeah, like I love learning. As a teacher, that sounds so nerdy, but like I love learning new things. Like,
I'm the same way. So a lot of people like to listen to music while they work. I actually like to listen to YouTube channels that like one of them just breaks down like the evolution of all these different animals during different time periods. So like I like that or anything that has to do with like breaking down how movies are made. I love listening to I rather listen to think how things are made or the behind the scenes of
mhm.
like the things that we see on a daily basis than just to like listen to music in general. What if you had a song that would play when you walked out onto the stage of the finals? What song would it be?
Oh, oh my gosh, these questions you're throwing at me.
Whoa.
Um,
Told you got to be on your toes.
oh, I have no idea. No idea. Like music isn't like if I go to the gym and there's not music playing, like I don't necessarily go and put it on. Like it's not really a thing for me. Um, I don't know. I can't think of one.
Really? Wow.
Do you have like a suggestion? Like
Oh my
what
gosh.
what what song do you think?
You're gonna laugh at me. So anything by I really like powerful women's voices, like when I'm working out. I don't know why,
Mm,
but I love
mm.
like I'm just like, yeah, let's go. Like Adele, um,
Yeah,
like Set Fire to the Rain. I'm always like ready to like run through a wall with that one. Uh,
yeah.
Lana Del Rey, Summertime.
Love
Um,
Lana Del Rey. Love.
yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see what else. Oh, okay, Mongolian heavy metal.
Is that a genre?
Yes. It,
Okay.
I can't understand a single thing they say, but they're like, but the music in the background, man. I'm like, I want to go to war. Let's go. Um, yeah, those are my suggestions. It's kind of like or usually it's like music that they play during like Viking shows or movies. That's also something where I'm like, okay, okay.
So do they play music at OSG like while the whole competition's happening? Is there music playing?
I think so, but I can't
Okay.
remember if it was because they were playing it or if it was because the powerlifting competition, like right behind us, was just blasting that music. I can't
Yeah.
remember, but yeah, I should know that. I'm not 100% sure. Okay. So wait, I asked you what song. All right. Okay. What else? Okay, how do you feel about Australians being considered British Texans?
Like originally when you said that, I was like, what? And then I thought about it, which makes sense because yeah, we have some similar, I guess, stereotypes to the UK, but then we've got like a country-esque bogan spin on things. So yeah, I dig it.
You're like, it makes sense.
It makes sense.
All right, last few ones. We're doing a rapid fire. Dream vacation.
Hawaii.
Favorite actor.
Ryan Reynolds.
There we go.
Wow.
Yes. I told my girlfriend I would leave her for him. She's confused, but she understands. Anybody that's like a sense of humor, I'm all for it. Oh, there goes my other question. Where was my other question? Hold up. Favorite animal?
Dogs. Like
Where'd
easy
you get
one.
your dogs? Yeah, where'd you get your dogs from?
So Lucy came from the pet shop. And Teddy, I adopted him from a vet who trains at my gym.
That's awesome, Lucy and Teddy. Great name with the Teddy. I'm a big fan of bears. And then what? Gotta give me something good to finish off with here. Ooh, y'all celebrate Halloween? Do y'all celebrate Halloween?
I am such a Halloween Grinch. I cannot stand Halloween. Like,
Layla,
it's not a
find somebody new to interview.
I think it's not a thing in Australia.
Okay.
Everyone around me thinks it's a thing. Yeah, I don't do Halloween.
Oh, that makes more sense. So it's like something that's like catching on, but it's not something you grew up with, right?
No.
Or it is a common thing over there, and you just don't like
yeah, I think it's a common thing over here, but I'm just like, why?
You're the first Halloween Grinch I've ever talked to. I'm a Christmas Grinch.
Welcome.
Yeah, I'm a Christmas
I love Christmas.
humbug. Gross. I have beef with Santa. I'd like to take pictures of me fighting him every year, just for like my nephews and nieces, because they think it's hilarious too. And for me, just because I like, think it's funny. Okay, so you don't like Halloween. Okay, I guess like if you had to choose a costume, what would be your costume for Halloween?
Oh my gosh. Like some sort of comic character, maybe. I don't know.
Poison Ivy?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Elly, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me on like your one day where you get to relax. I know you got a lot of meal prepping and relaxing to do. Where can people find you if you want them to find you?
So people can find me on Instagram. My handle is Elly Strength. Yeah.
You're like, that's it. That's all y'all are getting.
That's
okay.
it. I don't do Facebook. Like, yeah, Instagram's where it's at.
You're like, y'all get one. Okay. Sounds good. All right, Elly, thank you so much for your time. I will talk to you later. No, I'm not going to talk to you later. I'll be watching you though during finals. I'm excited to see what you do. I really think you are. I think you're going to surprise yourself. You're going to get 2 reps. I'm calling it right now. She's going to get 2 reps on the Viking press. So when you do, just make sure you give me a shout out and be like, it was because of Yanni.
I will.
But yeah, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me. See ya.
Of course.